So maybe Jesus is offering a path in between. And maybe his first line, offer the wicked man no resistance, is there to surprise his audience. And then he's going to bring something new. So let's look at that. We see the first slide. Is the person at the computer? So this book, Don't Forgive Too Soon, gives a very interesting interpretation of these examples that Jesus gives us today. Basically, they speak about the two hands of forgiveness. Two hands of forgiveness. With one hand, we stop the abuse, and with the other hand, we bring light and love. Yeah? So let's see the first hand on the next slide. First hand, we stop the abuse. One of the examples Jesus gives is, if anyone orders you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles with him. We say that at that time, Roman soldiers who were occupying the land of Israel, they were allowed to ask anyone to carry their luggage, but for no more than 1 mile. So if such a soldier is asking you to do 1 mile and carry a lot of luggages, go for the 2nd mile. Then he can be punished. Then you will realize, oops, maybe I was a bit too abusive to that person. You see the point? So Jesus is not telling us, be stupid, take whatever abuse. He's telling us, show in a non-violent way to the person who is abusive that he is in the wrong. Go for the 2nd mile, the soldier, if caught, will be punished. He might not do it again. The next example, if anyone hits you on the right cheek, offer him the other as well. Normally, if someone hits you with a hand on the cheek, which cheek will it touch? Left cheek, yeah? For someone to hit your right cheek with his right hand, most people are right-handed, for someone to hit your right cheek with his right hand, he needs to use the back of his hand, which at that time was something used by the masters to their slaves. So if someone hits you on the right cheek, that means he is treating you as a slave. Offer your left cheek. Tell him, no, I refuse to be your slave. Hit me on this one, not on that one. Okay? So you are telling the person, sorry, I don't accept to be treated as a slave. And then the other example, the second picture, if a man takes you to law or to court and would have your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. The society of that time was quite oppressive, especially for the poor people. So there were high interest rates for loans. If you take a loan, you have no money anymore to pay the interest rate. People could take you to court and get your clothes instead of money. So if they ask for your tunic, you give your cloak as well, meaning you give your underwear. The guy in the picture, the person will be embarrassed. You are telling the person, see what you are doing. Is this what you really want? You are embarrassing the other person. So these are examples of creative ways to respond to violence in a non-violent way. A way to stop the abuse without becoming violent ourselves. And the book gives a lot of other examples, especially for parents, but also for neighbors, etc. How to respond to different abuses or violence that we can experience in our daily lives. How to respond to that in non-violent ways. It's very interesting to hear that book. And of course, for other situations, we can try to find on our own what way can I respond that would be helpful. So that's the first hand of forgiveness. First hand, we stop the abuse, and then with the second hand, we bring life and love. We see the next slide. Jesus tells us, love your enemies. And that's something new, because for the Jews, they were told to love their neighbors. That's what we heard in the first reading. But then they were told also to hate their enemies. There's a psalm that says, do I not hate those who hate you, Lord? I hate them with perfect hatred. That means those who hate God, I hate them, and I will be nasty to them. But Jesus says, no. Love your enemies. Because God himself loves his enemies. And we heard that in the Psalm. The Lord does not treat us according to our sins. Even if we are sinners, he's not going to send punishment. He is compassion and love. And so he invites us to be compassion and love. Of course, if we believe in a God who hates his enemies, we will tend to hate our enemies. Yeah, that was the psalm that says, I hate them with perfect hatred. But if we believe, we see how two different psalms, two different understandings of God already. In the Bible we find different understandings of God. But the psalm we sang today, he says, no, the Lord does not treat us according to our sins. The Lord is compassion and love. And that's what we see with Jesus. So this invitation to love our enemies, of course not easy, yeah? Maybe what can help us to love our enemies is to believe that there is more in them than the wrong thing they are doing. To believe that they are still beloved children of God. Of course, to pray helps us to enter into this mindset, to see how God still looks at them with love, still able to see what is beautiful in them. And in a way to believe that we are all in the image of God. So that's what Jesus came to announce. The kingdom is here. We are all created in the image of God. And so we have Bishop Desmond Tutu was these very beautiful sentences. He says, persons don't have just to be respected, but they have to be venerated, because they are created in the image of God. To treat a human being in another way means to spit in God's face. Quite strong, huh? Every time we treat a human person without venerating the person, Bishop Tutu says, we are spitting in God's face. We are forgetting that every human being is the image of God. That's in a way an invitation to live life in a beautiful way. Every morning we can wake up and tell ourselves, today I'm going to meet so-and-so, I'm going to meet these people, maybe people I don't know yet. In every one of them I can see the image of God. And that can make my day so beautiful. Even in this particular person maybe will be a bit grumpy, not so nice, maybe even nasty, I can still try to see the image of God in that person. And that can make my day so beautiful. And then evening, before we sleep, we look back at the day and we can ask ourselves, how was I able to see the image of God in everyone? How was I able to venerate them? How was I able to love my friends and my enemies? And then we move forward. Of course, sometimes we will make mistakes, yeah? Sometimes we will not be perfect, sometimes we will. But we move forward and move forward and move forward. So the two hands of forgiveness. The children here, do you remember the two hands? You can use that in school also. Because sometimes in school, we may have friends or the students who are not so nice to you. So the first hand, you stop the abuse. And second hand, you bring love. Maybe one thing you can try in school, those who are not so nice to you, you can tell them, when you say this or when you do that, it's not nice, I'm sure there's more goodness in you than this. We're inviting them to remember what is beautiful in them. I think very often when we sin, it's because we forget we are the image of God. We forget there is goodness in us. And then we go for the cheaper thing, we sin, we do wrong. But if we remember, then we can choose to love. So the two hands of forgiveness, a simple thing that really can help us, bring more love into our world. Now I'll just end with one passage that was in the first reading that can easily be misunderstood. This line highlighted in yellow that says you must openly tell him, your neighbor, of his offense. Yeah? If your neighbor has done something wrong, you must openly tell him of his offense, otherwise you are a sinner. interpret this out of context, we can easily become a very self-righteous person who keeps on spending his time pinpointing what is wrong in others. And then we very easily become a very cold-hearted person, who keeps on putting down others. And what Jesus says, before you look at the splinter in your brother's eyes, maybe you look at the Lord in your own. So of course, we are told to interpret the Bible in context. We cannot just take one passage like that out of context, and that passage would make us a very nasty person. This is not what Jesus wants. Another example, there's a passage in the book of Exodus, and there are many others in the book of Leviticus that says, this passage in Exodus 35, whoever does any work on the Sabbath day shall be put to death. So if we just take this out of context, we apply it today. So today later on we go in the bus and we put to death the bus driver because he's working on Sabbath day. Of course, this is not what God wants. So always we have to be careful not to just take one passage from the Bible out of the context. Ultimately, it's the life of Jesus, that tells us how we should interpret the rest of the Bible. And remembering that the Lord is compassionate God. So what could be the meaning of this passage? Basically, if someone does something wrong and that makes me angry, to keep the anger in me, maybe not very helpful. There's some studies that show that anger, resentment, if we keep on keeping them, that can lead to cancer. If we lash out at the person, angrily and do something nasty to him, that's also not very nice. So maybe first we can ask ourselves, what is this anger telling me? I think first possibility can be that maybe I'm being too uptight. Someone is doing something that doesn't please me because I'm so strict. Like my spouse press the toothpaste tube the other way. I like to press in the middle, but my spouse keep on pressing at the end. So I'm so upset that I keep on lashing on my spouse. Maybe I'm just too uptight. I should change myself and relax. But maybe some other times, the person I see doing something wrong is really doing something wrong. Like the person is not giving a proper place to sleep, to rest for his domestic employee. And that makes me angry. Maybe I have right to be angry because the person is not respecting another human being. Is not treating a human being as the image of God. I have right to be angry. It's not wrong to be angry in case like that. Then what should I do? Instead of keeping my anger inside, instead of lashing out at the person, maybe I can try to share with the person what makes me angry. Then using facts and using my feelings, but no judgments. You have these books on non-violent communication that are helpful, to learn how to communicate in this way. Never using judgments. Like, you are so nasty, you are so lazy, you are this, you are always like this, you are never like that. All these are judgments. Every time we use those kind of sentences, the person will feel hurt, the person might just fight back. If we give facts, I can see that your domestic employer has such a small place to sleep, there's no even ventilation, it's like a covered room or, so, this is shocking for me, I feel so sad, I feel so angry. You are giving facts and you are giving your feelings. And the person can actually agree, understand you better, and maybe you can also understand the other person better. So in a way, this verse may be an invitation, rather than being violent, to share what makes us angry when we believe, but to share in a loving way, not to put blame on the other person, to try to understand better, to try to move forward together. So maybe we can just take a little moment, look back at our morning or the last few days, and see whether there would have been moments, we got upset, we got angry, we forgot to see the other person as the image of God. And then maybe asking ourselves, how could I have reacted that would have brought more love into that situation?